All over the world, artists, writers, journalists, and cultural workers expose the truth, challenge the status quo, and struggle for progressive social change. In response, they face various forms of persecution and attack from the state and its forces. In 1973, the Chilean state brutally tortured and murdered Victor Jara. And still today, cultural workers are murdered for what they represent. Argentinian songwriter and singer Facundo Cabral, an icon of Latin American folk and protest music, was shot to death in 2011 by unknown gunmen.
Cabral's friend, Nobel Prize winner and presidential election candidate, said, "Today we're repudiating a terrible crime in Guatemala, a terrible crime in our country, a crime that's creating horror and fear." She said Cabral loved Guatemala and believes the singer was killed for his ideals.
Many other cultural workers have been unlawfully arrested and imprisoned in order to keep them from creating works that give hope to the people. In the US, journalist and former Black Panther Party member Mumia Abu-Jamal has spent nearly 30 years on death row and remains held in strict isolation and solitary confinement.
I think it impelled me towards radicalism generally.
A less free nation every day. And I think people should rise up, and I think they should organize, and I think, frankly, they should raise hell. You know, if you don't want to join our movement, join some movement. But damn it, do something, because we are in an age that we may never be able to capture again.
You have 30 seconds.
In Russia, 3 members of the punk rock collective Pussy Riot were recently sentenced to 2 years in prison after performing a song in Moscow's main cathedral criticizing Vladimir Putin.
Dictators and the government and the most important dictator, Putin, he's very afraid of people, really afraid of, because they don't like them, they don't support them. I suppose that most part don't support them, but they don't show their opinion, their feeling about it, because some of them thinks that nothing will change. We can show that it's not so scaring to do something, and that actions are changing the situation.
Ferhat Tunç, a Kurdish singer and composer, has been arrested numerous times by the Turkish state for his songs that protest the oppression of Kurdish people, their language, and their culture.
Für die Politiker sind die Musiker nur solche Leute, die nur Musik machen können. Aber wie gesagt, die Politiker machen nicht alles richtig. Das habe ich erlebt in der Türkei. Und die Politiker, die tun, was der Staat genau sagt, ja, was vorhabt, ja. Aber die Musiker und die Intellektuellen müssen die Wahrheit sagen, was alles in dieser Stadt, in diesem Land passiert oder passieren kann. Und ich bin eine davon und ich sage die Wahrheit. Und die Wahrheiten sind wirklich, macht vielen sehr traurig.
Countless journalists face state harassment and threats to their lives for their work that exposes the truth. Julian Assange became the target of the US State Department when WikiLeaks released classified documents on the disturbing extent of US involvement in the Iraq and Afghan occupations.
WikiLeaks, your baby, has, in the last few years, has released more classified documents than the rest of the world's media combined. Can that possibly be true?
Yeah, can it possibly be true? It's a worry, isn't it? That the rest of the world's media is doing such a bad job that a little group of activists is able to release more of that type of information than the rest of the world press combined.
Arundhati Roy, an award-winning novelist and essayist, faces continuous hostility from the Indian government for her outspoken criticism against media censorship, state brutality in Kashmir, and for her sympathies towards the Adivasi peoples and the Naxalites who have taken up arms to defend themselves against the Indian state.
In the last few years in India, I've realized that it's also, or it's more important to fight on the ground, you know, and increasingly I've seen that the people that are fighting on the ground, who are barricading the roads, who are digging trenches, who are refusing to let the police in, they're the ones that are winning the fight. What do you do when 1,000 policemen come and surround a forest village? I mean, do you go on a hunger strike? Or what do you do? You have to fight back. And then they say, oh, did they kill the policeman? Isn't it terrible?
The campaign to free the Filipino artist Erickson Acosta has just been won. In 2011, Erickson was arrested without warrant by the Philippine military. For 2 years, the people organized and mobilized and forced the Filipino government to free him.
Yes, the state has really pulled a fast one on me. It has actually taken away my freedom, and is an act against my human rights as an activist and an advocate of national democracy.
Despite state repression, people's artists continue to create works that serve the interest of the oppressed. Today we call on those artists to celebrate and defend people's culture and to build a united global movement to advance people's struggles for fundamental social change.